Hello, dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Welcome back to the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, it's going to be the preview of the fourth one-day international that is coming up between India and South Africa. India definitely riding on high right now, leading the series 3-0 already. South Africa have only one chance, and that is to go and actually square the series. And tomorrow happens to be a match which is very important for South Africa, because one is if India win this particular ODI match, where South Africa definitely strengthened by the coming back of AB de Villiers after 3 matches, and as far as India are concerned, if they manage to win tomorrow's match, I think it would be their first ever win in an ODI series on South African soil, and that would be something very nice to savor for sure. So I'll be doing the preview of the India versus South Africa game, and also I'll be previewing the third match of the third T20 match, which is coming up between Australia and England in the Trans-Tasman Trophy, which is going to be played in Melbourne. Australia definitely on the ascendant right now, the Trans-Tasman Trophy, with all the points socked away, and England will have a real challenge there. So I'll be previewing that match as well. But definitely I'm going to start off, I'll be coming to the previews later, and I'm going to start off with the Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh game. As I've always been saying, this match is either going to finish in 4 days or 3 days, and now it looks that tomorrow might probably we might see the last of the days. Probably this was day 2. And once more, as you know, on the first day we saw 14 wickets tumbling, and once again it was the same story. Another 14 wickets tumbling, this time Bangladesh losing 10 and Sri Lanka losing 4. But Sri Lanka definitely, I can tell you for a fact, that they are on the ascendant here on a very, very turning pitch, because they are leading by 312 runs. So let's look at the story here as to how it went there in Dhaka. And so Bangladesh resumed at the overnight score of 56 for 4, and the problems continued. Liton Das, trying to drive Lakmal, lost his stumps. He was gone for 25 with 3 boundaries. And then there was not much of a resistance at all, barring Mehdi Hassan Miraz, the night watchman, who did a wonderful job. We know that he's capable of good batting, which he has done against England and Australia in the past, and he definitely showed that with an unbeaten 38. He was there till the Bangladesh innings wound up for 110, thus giving a very good lead under the circumstances on a turning pitch to Sri Lanka, to really make matters very, very easy for them. Mahmudullah, now Akila Dhananjaya, as you know, he was making his debut, and what a debut for him. What a debut for Akila Dhananjaya on a really turning pitch, which was really assisting the spinners, and he definitely capitalized. In fact, he went on to take 3 wickets, with the Bangladeshi captain Mahmudullah being his first victim. It was clean bowled by Dhananjaya for 17 with 2 boundaries. Sabir Rahman was caught by Chandimal for naught of the bowling. Dhananjaya, Abdul Razzaq was caught and bowled Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya was very impressive. He was getting the ball to really bite outside the off stump. He was turning it very well, and Tajul Islam was run out for 1. Mustafizur for LBW Pereira, and this was not a good exhibition at all from Bangladesh, and Bangladesh only had more problems as they were bowled out for 110. Mehdi Hassan Miraz doing a good job, and showing the other batsmen that they could have batted on this particular pitch for some more time, as Mehdi Hassan crafted an unbeaten 38 with 2 fours and 1 6. So 110 all out, so that meant it was a lead of 112 runs for Sri Lanka. Let's have a look at the bowling. Yes, we'll definitely talk about Akila Dhananjaya, who was the pick of the bowlers for me on his test debut. 10 overs, 2 maidens, 20 runs and 3 wickets for him. Pereira for 2 for 32. Lakmal had 3 for 25 and none for 31 for Herat. Now the pitch was behaving in the same manner, but when the Sri Lankans were batting, what one saw, the pitch was getting a bit slower as well. So definitely there was a bit of a change in behavior in the pitch, as you would see from the score of the Sri Lankans. They reached 200 for 8 at close of play. So it all started off with the openers Karunaratne and Mendes walking out, and Mendes was the first victim LBW bowled Razak for 7. That was wicket number 1. Dhananjay De Silva really went after Taijul Islam, and what a wonderful batsman Dhananjay De Silva is. In fact, at the other end, Karunaratne was absolutely into his shell. In fact, it took 94 balls to open his mark. He was just grafting, and he was guarding his wicket, I would say. But Dhananjay De Silva was the one who was really doing all the scoring. And Dhananjay De Silva made 28 in one particular over. He hit Taijul Islam for 3 boundaries through the offside. One was beautifully hit past the point region. The other one was hit square of the wicket, and the third one was lofted. I think it was over the cover region or mid-wicket region. Actually, he lofted the ball for a boundary. So 3 fours were taken, and Taijul Islam, who was getting a real handle on the Sri Lankans, got a bit of real hit from Dhananjay De Silva, who made 28 with 5 boundaries. But Taijul Islam was the man who picked up the wicket of Dhananjay De Silva finally, and Dhananjay De Silva left the crease trying to go for another hoik, and this time Taijul Islam actually clean bowled him. But it was an entertaining 28 from Dhananjay De Silva. Danishka Gunatilaka, and then Mehdi Hassan, it was Mustafizur Rahman. After that is that Kanuratne over there was really grafting along, and Gunatilaka was the next to go. It was LBW bowled Mustafizur Rahman for 17, 1, 4, and 1 was really good to see that Mustafizur Rahman was bowling his cutters very well, all sharp cutters, I would say. And then Chandi Malu failed in the first innings was LBW of a Mehdi Hassan Miraz ball after making 30 with 3 boundaries. Karunaratne, as I said, made a painstaking 32. In the sense, he was very slow, and one could understand that. But what he showed is that Karunaratne could occupy the crease for a long time. It took a long time for him to open his account. He scored 32 with no boundaries in his knock. And then, once again, it was the man who did it in the first innings, none other than Roshan Silva. And Roshan Silva went on he was there till the close of play, really holding the hope, not holding the hopes, I would say, really helping Sri Lanka build a good total here, because they were 200 for 8 at close of play, so basically 312 runs in the lead. And look at the play of Roshan Silva. This was his 4th half century on the trot, so 4 consecutive half centuries. He's definitely moving on to a record. One knew that last year Mominul Haq was near a record when he had scored 6 half centuries, I suppose. Now Roshan Silva, after his debut, has only been scoring half centuries. And once again, Roshan Silva showed how you could play on this particular wicket by really guarding his off stump, leaving the balls which were turning outside the off stump, offering a wonderful defense to the balls that were turning into him, and also not afraid to play his strokes, using his feet against the spinners at twinkling feet, and actually driving them beautifully. Look at his knock. He was not out on 58 with 9 boundaries which were scored in that, and it was, according to me, a very valuable knock, as he was standing there for Sri Lanka with an unbeaten 58 at close of play. Dikwala was a victim of Islam. Dikwala actually trying to play in a bit of aggressive fashion, fell to Taijul Islam for 10. He holed out Pereira, and then Mustafizur Rahman, as he did in the first innings, came and started nibbling at the tail. Pereira was out for 7 with 1 boundary, was caught behind Dhananjay. Akila Dhananjay was also caught behind the ball. Mustafizur Rahman for not. Lakmal remained not out on 7, but Roshan Silva was still there guarding the Sri Lankan fort with an unbeaten 58, and Sri Lanka would definitely expect Roshan Silva to still go further, because Lakmal can definitely offer, and Rangana Herath, as we all know, is no rabbit to the bat. He's still there to come. So already Sri Lanka are in lead of 312, and according to me, no team has ever chased anything in excess of 300 on this particular wicket and won. So that will definitely say the law of averages is something, and definitely on this pitch I could say Sri Lankans are looking clear favourites here, unless Bangladesh can really put a miraculous act of batting. So 312 in the lead. And as far as bowling is concerned, Abdul Razak went for 60. Mustafizur Rahman, I thought he bowled his cutters excellently. In fact, he understood that there was no point in actually going and pulling, bowling with the pace. He actually slowed down and started bowling good cutters, which really fetched him the wickets. Tajul Islam 272, 19 overs, 2 maidens. Mehdi Hasan Miraz 14 overs, finally got into the wicket-taking act after missing it in the first innings. 14 overs, 3 maidens, 29 runs and 2 wickets. So as I said, definitely Sri Lanka are looking favourites at this stage. But again, as I said, the match could be over in 3 days. It also one has to wait and watch. Probably if Bangladesh could put up a very good display, they could probably extend it to the 4th day on a Sunday. But looking at how things are happening and looking at the Sri Lankan spinners, especially Akilan Jaya, who according to me would be their very main threat, it looks very unlikely. But as I said, cricket is a game of gross uncertainties, so we'll have to also see how the pitch behaves tomorrow. But nevertheless, definitely Sri Lanka on the high here, no doubt about it, with the play ending on the second day of this second test match. Now, the next thing we are talking about is, as I said, the 4th ODI which is coming up. I'm doing the preview of the India versus South Africa clash that is coming up. Yeah, it's going to be, we are going to see each and every cricket player in pink tomorrow. And as we know, what does pink stand for? Pink stands for breast cancer, as you all know. And in Australia it is played, and in South Africa also will be playing in their pink attire, and also the Indians. So it is a sort of a, as you know, it is done for a sort of a social cause also, and it will be interesting. And we are also going to look at South Africa. And for South Africa, the good news is that A.B. de Villiers will be back in action. And as I said, A.B. de Villiers coming back in action, one has to see whether A.B. de Villiers' presence itself can prevent the Indian spinners Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal, who had already started drilled a big hole in the South African setup, already taken 21 out of the 28 wickets to fall in the series, whether A.B. de Villiers can tame not only them but also impart some lessons to all the other players in the camp to tell them as to how to play these wrist spinners. As far as South Africa are concerned, it's a very important match for them. It's a must-win match for them tomorrow. And if they are not going to win the match tomorrow in A.B. de Villiers' presence, I'm afraid to say that India would have won their first ever ODI series against South Africa in South Africa, and that would be a proud moment, and I'm sure the Indian team would be celebrating. So let's have a look at the South African team. Now Aiden Markram will captain the innings. Hashim Amla and Aiden Markram would be expected to really lay a solid foundation. So that is the first thing that they need to do. JP Duminy has shown that he has got into some bit of form with that 50 that he hit. De Villiers, we all know, he's an X factor in the South African team, and one knows what he can do, and his presence itself would reinvigorate the South Africans to put their best foot forward. Farhan Bahardin in 5, David Miller, or whether it is going to be Kaya Zondo. Miller has been failing, whether they will be prompted to bring in Kaya Zondo, one does not know. And the all-rounders are there, Chris Morrison, Antifel Kwayo, Kagiso Rabada, and the bowling would be in the hands of Rabada, Morkel, Morris and Imran Tahir. So pretty much, as I said, A.B. de Villiers himself coming into the particular side would have strengthened the South African team a great deal, no doubt about it. And as far as India are concerned, as you know, Rohit Sharma failed in the test series, and unfortunately for India, the problem for India happens to, even though they have been winning, for India, their prayers would be that Rohit Sharma gets into some form, so that Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan, who is in some great form right now, and in a great form with great consistency, would be able to chisel together a very good partnership that they are known for, the tried and trusted pair. If Rohit Sharma could actually come to the party tomorrow, because Rohit Sharma is the one who has been a big failure in this South African series, especially in the test matches. now in the ODI series as well. So Rohit Sharma would definitely like to get cracking tomorrow with the partnership with Shikhar Dhawan. Well, Kohli. Well, I have nothing to say about Kohli. Kohli, we all know what he can do with the bat. Ajinkya Rahane also as a captain. Ajinkya Rahane is in good nick. Mahendra Singh Dhoni just got a hit the other day. Kedar Jadhav, Hardik Pandya will be waiting for the turn. Well, they still have. They probably have not encountered a situation where they were direly needed. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, India would like to keep it that way as well. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah, a wonderful opening pair for India, no doubt about it. And Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal would be a sort of a question mark on the South Africans, and whether with AB de Villiers coming into the side, whether they can get an answer to Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal, the wrist spinners tomorrow. That would be the key according to me. And also AB de Villiers definitely expected to actually score big, and AB de Villiers will definitely have very good memories. And also I have to say, this is going to be played at the Wanderers in Johannesburg, which has always produced high scoring ODI matches, but we all know what happened in the test match between India and South Africa and the Wanderers, which nobody would like to talk about its history, but ICC definitely gave a rating of a poor pitch. So one is waiting to watch as to what is in store at the Wanderers, and I'm told there's going to be a big crowd which is going to be assembled, and especially saying that they are going to be in pink, and we all know what pink stands for. It stands for breast cancer, as we all know. So so basically we are going to have a very good game of cricket, no doubt about it. South Africans would be the ones who would be under extreme pressure. Indians would be basking right now in their victories, no doubt about it. And one is really going to have some real excitement building up at the Wanderers in Johannesburg tomorrow in this fourth ODI, which is going to be played between India and South Africa. Now let's head on to the Trans-Tasman Trophy. As far as the Trans-Tasman Trophy is concerned, a brief preview there. As far as the Trans-Tasman Trophy is concerned, it's going to be played between Australia and England. And Australia, as I said, are in the ascendant here in the Trans-Tasman Trophy. They have been doing a great job. Their batsmen have been in good nick. So I'm going to start off by looking at the England team, which has not really had it good at all. And this will be the last match. As you know, it's known as the Trans-Tasman Trophy. Now they would be going to the other side. This will be the last match which will be played in Australia, which will be the last match of the Australian season. And then Australia and then all the three teams have to fly to New Zealand, where the other matches will be played, and also the finals. So let's have a look at the Aussie team. Aussie team definitely under form. So I'm not going to look at the Aussie team first. We'll have a look at the England team, which has really been struggling. So one has to see what. But the Australian team, if you look at it, they are in good. David Warner. Well, David Warner, the captain, would be expected to score big, because it's high time that David Warner really does something to really show it, because DRC shot got a good hit. Chris Lynn failed, but still we all know his capabilities. Glenn Maxwell was in excellent touch, as we know, after scoring that century, his second T20 century. He was the one who really did it all on his own in that particular match against England. And Marcus Stoinis, Alex Carey, they have a good combination to me. Ashton Agar has been bowling well. He has been living up to that name, I would say. Andrew Tye, Kane is the bowling. Billy Stanlake was a bit listless the other day, but I'm sure he will be coming back in his zone once again. Kane Richardson, who actually declined the IPL offer and decided that he would rather settle down to play in the Sheffield Shield in Australia. Adam Zampa, the leg spinner. Andrew Tye has been consistently taking wickets for the Aussies. And as far as England are concerned, well, they are definitely waiting for a great start from the English openers, Jason Roy and Alex Hales. David Mallon, as I said, always to me it should be a certainty in the ODI and T20 squad scheme of things, no doubt about it. With his natural aggression petering out, And David Mallon who played well. He was the highest scorer as well, scoring a 50, and he would be expected to do something there. Morgan, Butler, definitely one knows what they bring to the table. Sam Billings is another one. David Willick can also slap a few, as he showed against Nathan Lyon in that warm-up match where he manhandled him for I think it was 32 runs or 34 runs. Adil Rashid was bowling excellently, I thought, in this T20 series. He has been hitting his traps pretty quickly, and the bowling would be in the hands of Mark Wood, Chris Jordan, and Tom Curran. So I think all in all, it should be a wonderful game, and it's going to be played in Melbourne. And Melbourne, as you know, it's a large ground, and we have they definitely, if you have to hit a 6 at the Melbourne cricket ground, that would be a real challenge, because they have some vast boundaries, and you really have to have the power to clear the Melbourne pickets. Well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, it was a real pleasure bringing you this daily cricket show of mine. Hope you all enjoyed it, and you all have a good night.